Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Everyday Conversations channel. I'm your host, Lily.
And I am your host, James. We are so happy that you are here with us today.
So, Lily, I have to be honest about something. I've been a total mess lately.
Oh no, what happened?
Okay, so at the start of the year, I made this big promise to myself. I'd wake up at 6 a.m., exercise every day, read for 30 minutes, meal prep on Sundays, basically become a completely different person overnight.
Let me guess, it lasted about a week?
Try 4 days. By Thursday, I hit snooze 6 times, ate cereal for dinner, and watched 3 hours of a crime documentary instead of going to the gym. I felt awful about it.
Honestly, I think every single person listening right now is nodding along. We've all been there. You set this perfect vision of who you want to be, and when reality hits, it feels like you failed before you even started.
Exactly, and that's the trap, right? We confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is that exciting spark you feel on January 1st. But discipline, that's what gets you to the gym on a cold Tuesday when you'd rather stay in bed.
And that's exactly what today's episode is all about. How to actually build self-discipline that sticks. Not the Instagram perfect hustle culture version. Real, practical, science-backed strategies that work for normal people with busy lives.
We're breaking it down into 7 actionable tips. And here's the best part. Every single one of these applies to learning English too, so you're getting a double win today.
Absolutely. And stick around to the end because we've got a vocabulary deep dive that'll level up your English and a quick recap you can screenshot for daily reminders.
All right, let's get into it. Tip number 1, the 2-minute rule. Make your new habit so small that it takes less than 2 minutes to do. The goal isn't the activity, it's showing up consistently. Example, instead of study English for an hour, just open your textbook. All right, so tip number 1 is something that completely changed my perspective. It's called the 2-minute rule. The idea is simple. Whatever habit you want to build, shrink it down until it takes less than 2 minutes to do.
2 minutes? That barely seems worth it. What can you accomplish in 2 minutes?
That's exactly what I thought at first, but here's the psychology behind it. The hardest part of any habit isn't doing it, it's starting it. So once you've started, momentum takes over. So the 2-minute rule removes that mental barrier of this is going to be hard.
Okay, give me an example. How did you apply this?
So instead of telling myself I need to work out for an hour, I changed it to I just need to put on my running shoes and step outside. That's it. That's the whole commitment. And 9 times out of 10, once I'm outside, I think, well, I'm already here, might as well go for a run.
That's clever. You're basically tricking your brain into action.
Exactly, and this works beautifully for language learning too. Don't tell yourself you need to study for an hour. Just open your English app, or read one paragraph, or listen to the first minute of a podcast. Maybe this one.
Ha! Subtle plug there, James. But seriously, this is powerful. I've used a version of this for writing. On days when I really don't feel like it, I tell myself I just have to write one sentence. And usually that one sentence turns into a full page.
James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, puts it perfectly. He says you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And the 2-minute rule is the foundation of a good system.
I love that quote. So listeners, here's your challenge. Whatever goal you're working toward right now, shrink it. Make it stupidly small. Make it impossible to say no to.
Tip number 2, build systems, not just goals. A goal is the destination. A system is the vehicle that gets you there. Focus on daily processes rather than distant outcomes. Example, listen to 10 mins of English daily, beats become fluent this year. This leads perfectly into tip number 2. Focus on building systems rather than just setting goals.
Okay, I hear this a lot, but what's the actual difference between a goal and a system?
Great question. A goal is the result you want, like I want to lose 10 kilos or I want to pass the IELTS exam. A system is the daily process you follow to get there. So for weight loss, your system might be I walk for 20 minutes after lunch and eat vegetables with every meal. For IELTS, it might be I practice one reading passage and 5 new words every morning.
Ah, I see. So the goal tells you where you want to go, but the system is what actually moves you forward day by day.
Exactly, and here's why this matters for self-discipline. When you only focus on goals, you're constantly measuring yourself against this distant finish line, and that's exhausting.
You feel like you're failing every single day until you finally reach the goal.
That's so true. I remember when I was training for a half marathon. Every day I'd think I'm still not ready. I still can't run 21 kilometers. It was demoralizing.
But if you'd focused on your system, like, did I follow my training plan today? You'd feel successful every single day you showed up.
And that sense of daily success is what keeps you going. It feeds your discipline instead of draining it.
Bingo. So for our English learners out there, here's how to apply this. Don't just say, I want to be fluent. Instead, build a system. Maybe that's listening to 10 minutes of English in the morning, reviewing 5 vocabulary words at lunch, and writing 3 sentences before bed. Small, repeatable actions.
And the beautiful thing is, once a system becomes routine, it doesn't require willpower anymore. It just becomes what you do, like brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether to do it. Tip number 3, temptation bundling. Pair something you need to do with something you love to do. This creates a positive association with the habit. Example, only watch your favorite show while reviewing flashcards.
All right, tip number 3 is one of my personal favorites because it involves 0 suffering. It's called temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling? That sounds like a marketing strategy for chocolate.
Ha, it kind of is, but for your habits. The concept comes from behavioral economist Katie Milkman. The idea is you take something you need to do but don't enjoy, and you pair it with something you love.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Sure. So let's say you hate going to the gym, but you love true crime podcasts. The rule is you're only allowed to listen to your favorite podcast while you're at the gym, nowhere else. Suddenly, the gym becomes the only place where you get that thing you crave.
Oh, that's devious. Your brain starts associating the gym with pleasure instead of pain.
Exactly. And for English learners, the applications are endless. Love cooking? Only watch cooking tutorials in English. Addicted to social media? Switch your phone's language to English and follow English-speaking creators. Obsessed with K-drama? Watch it with English subtitles first, then try it without.
I actually do something like this. I only allow myself to have my fancy coffee, the one from that expensive place, while I'm doing my morning reading. It makes the reading feel like a treat instead of a task.
See, that's perfect. You're not relying on willpower. You're redesigning the experience so your brain wants to do the right thing.
And that's the key to sustainable discipline, isn't it? Making it feel less like a sacrifice and more like a reward.
Tip number 4, design your environment for success. This is one that people seriously underestimate.
Oh, this is huge. I always say, don't rely on willpower when you can rely on design.
Exactly. Here's the thing. We like to think we're in total control of our decisions, but the truth is, our environment shapes our behavior way more than we realize. If there are chips on the counter, you'll eat chips. If your phone is next to your bed, you'll scroll at midnight.
Guilty as charged on both counts.
Same, but once I changed my environment, things shifted dramatically. I started putting my phone in a different room before bed. I put a glass of water on my nightstand instead. I kept my running shoes by the front door. These tiny changes removed the friction between me and the habits I wanted.
And you can add friction to bad habits too, right? Like, if you want to stop eating junk food, don't keep it in the house. If you want to stop mindless scrolling, delete the app and only use it on your laptop.
Exactly. Make the good thing easy and the bad thing hard. For English learners, think about this. Put English books on your nightstand instead of your phone. Set your podcast app to automatically download English episodes. Stick vocabulary flashcards on your bathroom mirror. Change your phone's language settings to English.
I have a friend who put a Post-it note on her TV remote that says, "Have you practiced English today?" She says it works like a charm because she sees it right when she's about to zone out.
That's brilliant. The point is, you're setting up your world so that the path of least resistance leads you toward your goals.
Tip 5 is protect your peak hours. Willpower is a limited resource that depletes throughout the day. Schedule your most important habits during your highest energy window. Example, practice English first thing in the morning before decision fatigue sets in.
Right, so there's this concept called decision fatigue. Basically, every decision you make during the day uses up a little bit of your mental energy. By the evening, you've made hundreds of decisions: what to eat, what to wear, how to respond to emails, and your brain is exhausted.
Which is why I always end up ordering takeout at night instead of doing something productive.
Exactly. Your willpower tank is empty by then. So the strategy is, do your most important habit during your peak energy window. For most people, that's the morning, but it could be different for you.
I'm definitely a morning person. If I don't exercise before 9 a.m., it's not happening. But I have friends who are night owls and they do their best work at 11 p.m.
And that's totally fine. The key is knowing your own rhythm and protecting that time. Don't fill your peak hours with meetings or mindless scrolling. Use them for the things that matter.
For English learners, this could mean doing your most challenging practice, like speaking or writing, during your high energy time. Save the easier stuff, like listening to podcasts, for when you're winding down.
Great advice. Match the difficulty of the task to your energy level, and you'll be amazed at how much more consistent you become.
Tip 6 is the accountability effect. Share your goals with someone who will check on your progress. Social commitment dramatically increases follow-through rates. Example, find an English study partner and set weekly check-ins.
Tip number 6 is what I call the accountability effect. And honestly, this might be the most powerful tip on the list.
Ooh, bold claim. Tell me more.
So, research from the American Society of Training and Development found that you have a 65% chance of completing a goal if you commit to someone. And if you have a specific accountability appointment with that person, your chance of success jumps to 95%.
95%? That's incredible. So just telling someone about your goal nearly doubles your chances?
It's the social pressure factor. We don't want to let other people down. It's easy to break a promise to yourself, but breaking a promise to someone else, that stings.
I totally get that. When I signed up for a 5K run with my friend, I couldn't back out because she was counting on me. I definitely would have quit if it was just me.
That's the power of accountability. For English learners, find a language partner, join an online community, tell your friend, hey, quiz me on 5 new words every Sunday. Post your progress on social media. Make it public.
Even just texting a friend, I practiced English for 15 minutes today, creates that little loop of commitment and recognition.
And if you don't have someone in your life who shares your goal, there are tons of language exchange apps and communities online. The point is, don't go at it alone.
And our final tip, number 7, is one that I think a lot of high achievers struggle with. It's about practicing self-compassion.
This one's close to my heart because I used to be terrible at this. Whenever I missed a workout or skipped a study session, I'd spiral into guilt. I'd think, well, I already messed up today, so the whole week is ruined. I'll start fresh on Monday.
The classic all or nothing trap. One bad day becomes a bad week, which becomes a bad month, and suddenly you've abandoned the goal entirely.
Exactly. But here's what I've learned. The most disciplined people aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who recover quickly. They have a simple rule: never miss twice in a row.
I love that rule. It gives you permission to be human. You're going to have off days, that's normal. What matters is what you do the next day.
And research actually backs this up. Studies in psychology show that self-criticism after a setback makes you less likely to try again. But self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness you'd give a friend, actually increases your motivation to improve.
That's counterintuitive, isn't it? You'd think being tough on yourself would push you harder, but it actually does the opposite.
It does. So for all our listeners, if you missed your English practice today, please don't beat yourself up. Just say, okay, that happened. Tomorrow I'll show up. No drama, no guilt spiral. Just get back on the horse.
And remember, progress isn't a straight line. It's messy and wobbly, and that's completely fine. The fact that you're here listening to this episode means you care about getting better. That counts for something.
All right, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, the vocabulary deep dive.
Yes, we pulled 10 words and phrases from today's episode that are super useful for intermediate learners. Let's break them down one by one.
Number 1, hit snooze. This means to press the button on your alarm that delays it for a few more minutes. I said I hit snooze 6 times. It's very informal and super common in everyday conversation.
Number 2, momentum. This is the force or energy that keeps something moving forward. When we said tiny habits build momentum, we mean small actions create a snowball effect that keeps you going.
Number 3, demoralizing. This means something that makes you lose confidence or hope. Lily said constantly measuring yourself against a distant goal is demoralizing.
Number 4, friction. In this context, friction means anything that makes a task harder to start or complete. We talked about removing friction from good habits and adding friction to bad ones.
Number 5, decision fatigue. This is the idea that the quality of your decisions gets worse after making many decisions. By evening, you experience decision fatigue and tend to make lazy choices.
Number 6, wind down. This means to gradually relax or become less active. I said you could save easy tasks for when you're winding down in the evening.
Number 7, follow through. To follow through means to complete something you've started or promised. Accountability helps you follow through with your commitments.
Number 8, guilt spiral. This describes a cycle where feeling guilty leads to more negative behavior, which creates more guilt. James talked about falling into a guilt spiral after missing a workout.
Number 9, get back on the horse. This idiom means to try again after a failure or setback. If you miss a day of practice, just get back on the horse tomorrow.
And number 10, counterintuitive, something that seems opposite to what you'd expect. It's counterintuitive that being kind to yourself actually makes you more disciplined than being harsh.
Great words today. Try using at least 3 of these in a sentence this week. Write them down, say them out loud, text them to a friend.
Yes, and remember, learning vocabulary isn't just about memorizing definitions. It's about using words in context. That's what makes them stick.
All right, let's do a quick recap of today's 7 tips for building self-discipline.
Number 1, use the 2-minute rule. Make your habit so tiny you can't say no.
Number 2, build systems, not just goals. Focus on daily processes.
Number 3, try temptation bundling. Pair habits with things you love.
Number 4, design your environment. Make good habits easy and bad habits hard.
Number 5, protect your peak hours. Do important tasks when your energy is highest.
Number 6, use the accountability effect. Share your goals and check in with someone.
And number 7, practice self-compassion. Never miss twice in a row and don't beat yourself up.
And remember, all 7 of these strategies apply directly to your English learning journey. Self-discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up, even when it's messy.
Couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much for listening to Talk Everyday Conversations. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend who needs a little discipline boost.
And leave us a review if you haven't already. It really helps other learners find the show.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep talking, keep learning, and be kind to yourself.